Okay, you're live.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Thank you. Hello, everyone. We have about 9 minutes before we start. So we're just gonna hang out here, drink our coffee, and wait for everyone to come on. Hi, Mrs. York's class. Those of you who are in already, I see them. All right, Julian, are you able to see the attendees too?
I see the participants, but that's it. Oh, I see attendees there. Okay, yeah, I see it, okay. Yes.
All right. And I'm so happy that the time is 7 hours ahead versus behind.
I was just actually making dinner, so it's I came upstairs and yeah, it's very strange, isn't it? That and I can assure you that Tuesday is going to be great. It's been a good day so far.
In the future,
I love
it's already good.
Yeah. It's a good one. Awesome.
What's the weather like over there?
Hot, muggy.
Okay, great. That's, I mean, better than the alternative, or worse.
We're going through a bit of a drought, which is a little unusual for us.
Yes.
We've just come out of a drought, which was quite severe. It was sort of like we were counting down till the dams were dry. Mm-hmm. Everyone flushing the toilet once a day and all the all the usual terrible.
Wow.
But yeah, it's been raining. So is my sound good? Is it okay? Okay.
Yes, cool. It is.
Okay. We have another class joining us. Hi, Mrs. Weinberger's class. Thanks for coming on. We're gonna start in about 7 minutes. So hopefully those friends, and I know that we have a few people who registered through the library. So we'll get them. And I had a teacher saying it's at 10, right?
Mm-hmm. Or 5 p.m.
Correct. Or 5 p.m.
I see drawings behind you, Alex. Is that from the book, or are they just kind of inspirational pieces?
So this side is over there is just a poster of South African. It was a poster called. I mean, is it backwards for you, or I'm never sure whether it's for me. It's backwards, but
no, we could see it. It's like
okay.
We could see it.
That's the South African alphabet, so it goes through all the iconic things of around here. So I thought I'd put that up as a. Yeah, so I did that a while ago, and then all of these are just things I've made and collected. I think during the lockdown, I sort of had to focus a bit more on making my background a little bit more interesting. So I've got all sorts of stuff: crocodile skull, elephant bones, and sort of more. Things to look at, make it a bit more interesting.
That's very wise of you. In fact, thank you. I'm going to move myself because the lighting is better over by my tiger.
Well, my favorite thing is reading other people's bookshelves, where you can see what they've been reading and you sort of see their interests by what they've got on display. Oh,
that is
that's very nice.
See, there's the library. There's our
brilliant
tiger. Look at
that. Masked up.
Masked up. Yeah. Yeah. And I was telling Jillian that I had a kid who loved The Boy Who Cried Ninja. And I said, oh, do you want to ask a ninja question? Because he was talking about it. And he's like, no. And so most of the questions are about dinosaurs, but just so you know, you have fans of your other works too.
Oh, brilliant! I got this pile of books out, and it's just every so often it's amazing to just go back and see how many books I've done. It's kind of so it's great. It's I love them all. I love all the questions about all of them, because it's a book takes a long time of a chunk of your work life and your inspiration and things, and it's like each one is special. So it's always great.
Nice. All right. I knew this would happen. We would feel like we're just sitting here forever. But I'm sorry. Our school actually starts at 10. So we have students coming in now. I'm normally supposed to be at the doors opening them. And then and the teachers are just getting. Oh, we have another one. Oh, good. This is a student from Mrs. Weinberger's class. Hi, Jonathan.
How long have you been writing?
Long time. I started out sort of studying to write and being interested in writing, and illustration only came much later. I'd actually written The Boy Who Cried Ninja, and I gave the intention was for my older brother to illustrate it because he's a very good illustrator. But then he took about a year with no results to do nothing. And that's age old. If you want something done properly, you got to do it yourself. So that's what I did.
I love stories like that. Families, man.
Families, exactly. Drive you mad. But I think in the process, you sort of all push each other forward, right?
Yep.
But yeah, so it's quite. I can't imagine not drawing now. I've done a few texts where other people have illustrated, and it's been fantastic. But I'm very used to drawing and sort of thinking like that, thinking visually as well. It's a good combination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just want to make sure too that our I'm seeing more and more friends coming up. I just make sure our preschool teachers get on, because I know they've really have been enjoying your books, and a lot of the questions actually came from the 3 and 4 year old kiddos.
It's such a lovely age. I've got 2 daughters, and the youngest is 6. But yeah, so just sort of moving out of that sort of very cute young phase into much just changing. But she still loves to go back and read the sort of more simple books and the picture books, even though she should be reading longer things. Yeah. But it's a lovely. It's a pity that the interaction with the kids is always great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, hopefully that'll come back up soon. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Strange time.
Indeed. I'm not seeing, let's see. Just looking for our teachers. Got a minute. I know most of the questions I was interested in asking, the kids really were not asking, but I'm like, I think it's fascinating that you're in South Africa. Like there's a lot, and I love the website showing that. So anyway, maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. And this is our last, like we have one today and tomorrow's our last day of school. So there's a lot going on. Right after this at 10:20, we have our students, our 5th graders are teaching different things to the rest of the school.
Aww.
So we have like a lot going on. So I'm happy this is happening, but I know like there's a lot of just,
it's brilliant. I've my eldest daughter's 10 now, and so that's also it's such a lovely age, and that sort of mixture, but that sort of growing competence and confidence is lovely. That she would love to teach the school a thing or two.
Right.
Stand up in front of people. Yeah, any excuse to talk.
I hear you. I see my preschoolers. Hi, you guys. So I am actually gonna get started because I know we are short on time. I would like to introduce, we have Mrs. Chapman from our Lake Bluff Public Library, and she reached out to our author, Mr. Latimar, and his book, Am I Yours, is on a story walk through Artesian Park. So you guys can go and enjoy that. And Mr. Latimar comes from us. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. He comes to us from South Africa. He's in Cape Town. If you want to visit his website, I will send it out. He has been writing books for a very long time and illustrating them. They've been translated into dozens of languages, have been published all over the world, and he enjoys spending time in the sea or in the mountains above his home. And he's always doing one of those. So it's pretty amazing. I'm super excited, and I'm going to pin you and let you take it away. And Mrs. Chapman has some questions, after you talk. So welcome.
Great. Thank you, Paige. And so we have a bunch of questions that were submitted from the Lake Bluff Elementary School. So we're really excited to share those with you and find out a little bit more about your work.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, and hello, everybody.
Thank you for being here.
I'm glad you're all here.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you are from?
I'm right now. I'm in Cape Town in South Africa, and this is where I've always lived. I think a lot of people from overseas always they ask whether there are lions running in the streets and whether I ride a zebra to school. That whole idea, and the truth is that we don't see that. I mean, there's game parks with those things, but we do get quite a lot of quite weird wildlife around here, which is great. When I moved into this house, we had a baboon problem, which is they used to if you left a window open and you weren't paying attention, they would get in and cause havoc. They're not dangerous really, but they are enormous, and they have teeth. They have teeth that big, so that it's fun. It makes you. As long as they're not dangerous, it's great. And then we have penguins. There's a 10-minute drive to a penguin colony here, and at night the porcupines come into the street. So as South Africa has its problems, but it's also a wonderful. I feel very privileged and happy to be able to live here. Yeah.
That's amazing. It sounds like a complete menagerie of different animals for sure. What inspired you to write Am I Yours?
It actually started with that this picture behind me. I did a poster of all the dinosaurs that I was sitting with my daughter reading a book on dinosaurs and showing her every page, and the thing I realized was the dinosaur, it would be this size on the page, and then there'd be a number next to it saying this dinosaur is 30 centimeters long or 30 meters long. I don't know, do you guys, do those measurements make sense to you? But yeah, so you could only get a sense of the size by that poster behind me. What I've done is I've drawn, let me actually just grab it. I had to take it off my wall this morning to show you, but what I've done is I've drawn things that are a sort of a regular size that's a washing machine, and then a person, and a bicycle, and there's a car over there. Just to give a sense of how big these dinosaurs were in comparison to things that we know from every day. And so that's how drawing dinosaurs started. I wanted to make that poster for my daughter to see their sort of sizes of things. And from there, I was thinking, now that I've drawn all these dinosaurs, I wonder whether there's a story in that. And that's really where it began.
That's lovely. Has writing and illustrating always been a passion of yours?
Yes, I feel like I've always wanted to write stories, and I've always loved writing stories. Uh, the drawing, for me, drawing came much later. I was from, I don't know if you know the arty family at school, but every school has one, and I was from that family. So my brothers, my dad drew, and my brothers, and it was, but I chose to go a different path. I was going to be a writer, and then that eventually that sort of came back together. I wrote and sort of picked up drawing again, which was lovely.
Question from one of our elementary school kids. Do you like dinosaurs?
I love dinosaurs. Absolutely. I feel like that, that feeling, as all of the kids out there must know, is that kid feeling hasn't really gone away from me. I love watching movies where they bring dinosaurs to life. I feel like it's amazing to see what dinosaurs look like. And I think you can also see from this picture that idea that dinosaurs could have been any color. No one knows what color they were or whether they had feathers or and so when you're looking at a movie of a dinosaur, someone has decided that's gray or that's or whatever. This picture, I've done whatever I want, and that's what you can do with dinosaurs. They're sort of half in the imagination and also half sort of accessible from the past. Yeah.
What is your favorite dinosaur?
It's hard. I mean, the T-Rex is right up there. I love it. I love a good T-Rex. I think the comedy with the front arms and then the terror with the mouth is always it's a fantastic combination. But then I think after a T-Rex, I'll go with a Stegosaurus. I think I'd just love to see one. I think that with the big spikes on the back and yeah, and a herbivore, which is another reason I would love to see one, because it wouldn't eat me.
That's awesome. Sorry, Julian, this is the nice thing about the webinar is you have the live chat. So we have one quick question about the dinosaurs. What's the most weird fact about dinosaurs from Katie?
The weird, I mean, for me, what I always think about is, because in Am I Yours, it ends with the pteranodons, the flying dinosaurs, and just the size of these animals, that standing on the ground, they were as tall as a giraffe. For me, it's a very weird and wonderful thing to think about, that they could even be flying at that size. Yeah.
Okay, so next question is, where did you think of your story about the dinosaur egg?
Yeah, so I think you look at a picture of all these dinosaurs, and then that idea that every single one of those enormous animals came out of an egg, and they must have had different colored eggs and different sized eggs, and I was thinking about all of that, and also just that I think that idea of a lost egg and trying to figure out what's inside it was something that sprang to mind, and I love that idea that these dinosaurs were trying to figure out what what could be inside that egg, and by doing that they were going through what each dinosaur looked like. So as a reader, we get to learn about each dinosaur, which I think was, for me, something I wanted to do as a kid, was learn about them and know what they look like and know their names. And I was sure to put their names in even when they were a little bit complicated, because that's what they're called.
Okay. Let's see. Do you travel all over the world to talk to people, or do you mainly meet with people virtually?
I used to do more travel and talking to classes and and things like that. I haven't, obviously, for a couple of years now. But I was thinking I suppose the furthest I've been, I went to the Seychelles to talk to a school. And the Seychelles is an island in the middle of the Indian Ocean. And when you get an invitation to go to an exotic island to talk to them about books, I think the answer is always yes. But I haven't for a while. So for now it's Zoom.
Why do you want to write books?
I love story. I think there's a lovely problem-solving idea that happens in stories where you can think of an idea, and then you have to find a way to make that a beginning and a middle and an end. And often I'll think of an idea. I'll know the beginning, I'll know the middle, and then I'll get to the end, and it's it just doesn't work. And I was talking to someone who said, when an ending doesn't work, it's usually a problem with the beginning. And I love that. It's like a puzzle. It's like thinking up a puzzle and solving it yourself. So yeah, that's what I love.
What is your favorite book that you wrote?
I would have to say. I'd have to say, Am I Yours? This, for me, I think, to be very, very precise, I think this, when I thought of this page, and then where you get that silhouette through to the next page, you can sort of see there where it. I was going to line them up, and you could guess from before you turned the page what was in the egg, and I thought, there's a moment. There's a moment in making a book where that's a lovely special thing. So yeah, Am I Yours? And the fact that Am I Yours, yeah, it rhymes with dinosaurs. So
that is very true. What is your favorite book in general, to read? I've been reading. I read other people's picture books to my children, not just my own. And one of my favorites is a John Clausen Mac Barnett book called Extra Yarn. And in South Africa, we don't say yarn. So whenever I read it, I have to say extra wool. And it's a lot of, I love the book. The illustrations are amazing, and the story is one of those ones that is exciting when it's happening, and then it makes you think about a lot of things afterwards, which is what I love in a book. Last question that I have, and I know we have a couple questions in the chat. What advice would you give an inspiring artist out there?
I think to draw every day, to keep drawing and practice. I think there's also when I was at school, I remember someone looking at a drawing I did. I was trying to draw a face, and I was trying to use every color that I had on that face. I was going to use green and blue and red, and it didn't work. And someone came up and said, "Can I see the drawing you did?" And he said, "Oh, you're not a very good artist," because it didn't look right. And for me, I think it's about not being, try all of the things, and just keep at it. I think everyone starts off not so good at anything they do, and then they get better. And so I think practice every day, and as with anything, you will get better.
We have a couple of people who asked, what is your favorite dinosaur that you have drawn?
I've drawn. I must say, though I do love a T-Rex, they are difficult to draw because they look wrong. And that's I think part of why I like a Stegosaurus is because it is such a lovely shape. And that's, so yeah, I think a Stegosaurus.
We had another participant ask if you like the movie Jurassic Park.
I do. Yes, of course. I watched the very first one was maybe a bit scary. The newer ones are much more sort of adventure, and I love seeing those dinosaurs come to life. And people, oh, a bug just learned, yeah.
Oh.
And yeah, I think people the movies are getting better at making dinosaurs look very real. So yeah, I do.
Another question in the chat: how do you come up with rhyming words?
Oh, I feel like Am I Yours was my first rhyming story, and I felt like I had a headache for about 2 weeks thinking about it. It sort of gets into your thinking. You're walking down the road and you're going, what rhymes with triceratops? And all of these words are going through your head, and I've found it very difficult. But it's also that puzzle feeling that I've got this story, and now there's all of these pieces that must fit together, and there's got to be a way. So yeah, it's difficult, and I think it just takes practice as well. I think I'm getting better at it.
Looks like we have time for one more question, and it's in the chat. What is the biggest dinosaur?
Oh, I think there's it's that it's from South America. It's a sauropod. I don't know what it's called, but the one thing I always tell, dinosaur facts always amaze me. The one thing I tell my daughter often is, isn't it amazing that the biggest animal that has ever lived on Earth is alive right now in the sea, bigger than any dinosaur that anyone's ever found, and that's the blue whale. And so I'm always amazed by that people can go and see this animal that is alive and is the biggest ever.
Well, thank you so much, Alex. That was really great. And it's nice to get a little in depth about your stories and what it is that you do. It's a real treat for all of us.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Very much so. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you. I know my students loved it. They're popping off because they have their little kid to kid, but I just by the emails and stuff, I know that they were excited about this. Thank you so much.
A pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks. Thank you. Nice
Go enjoy
to meet
your
you.
dinner.
I will. Cheers. Have a good Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.